G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the power of the Prime's Optimus Prime. Now, I admit I got this guy for the sole purpose of having Orion packs, which is what the cab turns into. Now, I want to point something out that for whatever reason didn't occur to me until I decided to do this character or this figure. Tell me that's not Power Master Optimus Prime. You have a trailer that turns into a body. You have a truck that turns into an Optimus Prime that turns into a bigger Optimus Prime. This feels like, I'm trying to think if Titan's Return had a Power Master Optimus Prime or we got a Power Master Optimus Prime with Power of the Primes. I can't remember. But this to me feels like a smaller scale version of Power Master Optimus Prime. Down to the look at now. Admittedly, the one thing that's missing in this is that the cab does not turn into a base mode. The trailer does not have a base mode, to my knowledge. So there is that, but for the most part of it, it's Power Master Optimus Prime, and I will point something else out when we get to Orion. But normally I don't do these in vehicle mode first. I usually have these in display mode, which for mine would be the Orion mode. But considering I have to get this guy into Orion, into Optimus, back into the truck, I figured I might as well start with the truck anyway. And we'll quickly do a size comparison. There he is with Windblade. So it's not too bad size figure. As you can see, it does roll pretty easily. There is two tabs, and I'll point them out on the rifle. And it doesn't take much to actually unhook that, but there is two ports on the side of here, which I'll point out, so you can actually tell which one to put on. Now, when it comes to Orion, I also usually use the front of the gun for his display. I don't use the whole thing. So there's that. So you have that and whatnot. He doesn't have anything under here that will allow it to sit proper. So even the piece that goes in the back of the truck will not sit flattish. So there is that. All right, we'll put that aside and we'll get down to Orion. So here he is. Have a better look at the cab mode. Actually, you know what we can do first? We can have a look at the matrix, which we can pull out, and we just put that to the side. And here is the matrix of leadership, which I thought could transform, but no. You can pop it out and then use it as a head if you want to use it as a head, whether you're one of your Titans, Power Master, one of those figures. But yeah, no. See if I can remember how that went back in. This way I think it was, since we have the gap. Oops, maybe not. That'd be right. I finally get it out now. I can't remember how to put it back in again. I'm sure I just pushed it from the other side, didn't I? Try it from this way around. I just got it out, and now I can't. I'm sure it goes in that way because I got to get it through there first. There we go. That's the right way. And of course, it does have a bit of light piping there if you want to use that. We'll put that aside for the moment. All right, now we can get back to Orion Optimus, whatever you want to call it. So as you can see, the cab does open, and we can close those back up again. All right, transformation. What we want to do is we want to lift these up. Now, if you're finding when you pull these back down that they don't want to sit flat, you need to get this tab into this port. That's actually what holds the side together. So flip that up, and then you're going to pull this way. There is a sort of hinge in there, like that. And then you got this sort of double hinge, and this goes forward. And you have this tab here, which is going to go into here. So yeah, you end up creating a false front of the cab, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is what it is. And get that untabbed. Bring that around and tab it in, and voila. Right, so then we have the head and the arms. Now, with these arms, I'll show up better in the other transformation, but how do you put it? It's fiddly when you try to get it in place, but you want to fold this around, and while you do so, you want to pull the arm back. So it's got the bicep rotation. I'm going real well already. And then we'll just fold them down. We'll deal with the arms, hands in a minute. It's one tab, wrap around, twist, tab that in a bit, or push that in a bit, I should say. Doesn't really tab in. Then we're going to lift this all up, and there's two tabbing points, which is here and here, which is on here and here, and they just fold up, and you just push the head back, and voila. You can then fold the hips down. We want to separate at the feet, rotate the legs at the hips, and then come under here, get your fingernail in there, and get the feet out, like so. Straighten them up a little bit. My hips are a little loose for some reason. They were fine before. And then, of course, we can just flip the hands around like so. And voila. If I can get things focused. Apparently I already am. There is Orion Pax, which is a pretty decent interpretation of Orion. Pretty decent interpretation of Optimus Prime pre-Matrix. So, of course, I could always take the gun out and put it in his hands, but he doesn't really need it right now. So, he does look good. Yes, he has quite the backpack, but considering what he has to do, that's fair game. Pardon me. Stickers are nice. Nothing's coming off like the chest piece. Like, I know we got a more accurate version, I want to say with the cup mold, with the selects, but I prefer this guy far better because you even get the option of having Optimus Prime. So we can do a articulation. Head does do a full 360. It looks up a little bit, looks down quite a bit, and doesn't really go side to side, even though it feels like a ball joint. Arms can do a full 360, but you just be careful of that. He does have, if you want, a butterfly joint, but that's more transformation. We have bicep rotation. Arm can go up that far. We have double jointed elbow to get you that far. We have no wrist swivel back and forwards of the hand, if that's something you want to do. You have no waist swivel because of what this guy has to do. Leg goes up way far. The leg goes back as that far, because then you start getting the fuel tank hitting the back of the cab. Leg goes up that far because that tab's in the way. You have hip rotation. You have single jointed knee that gets you that far. You have molded in ankle tilt, and you have toe. So there is that, and we can do our next size comparison. Here he is with MP10. So as you can see, he's just under chest height. So there we go. All right. Let's get this guy transformed, and then we can get on to the cab itself. So what we're going to do is we want to rotate the legs. Rotate the legs all the way around. Flip those feet back. You're going to flip the head and the chest back down again. And then you're going to flip up the Optimus head. And that sort of just sits there, which that is a nice head sculpt. Rotate the head around. I can't tell if my thing's just having issues focusing. Fold the head back and fold in. You can rotate it if you really, really want to. You fold in the hands, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to fold the hands up like this. And that's how it's going to stay. It's not going to move. All right, we're going to rotate the knee, and we want to plug into here. So flip up. So we have this tab here that'll go in here. And it can be a little awkward to find. But once it's sitting properly, you're pretty right. So try and find that spot. There we go. I think I got it. So there is, right now, is the cab mode. So, like I said, tell me that's not Power Master Optimus Prime. Tell me it is not Power Master Optimus Prime. Because that was one other thing. Power Master Optimus Prime, at least the G1 version, had the proper had the Optimus facing this way. So his back was actually the chest, whereas the front of the original cab was actually his back. So that's something I was going to point out and I forgot all about. But yeah, so Orion's chest would have been the original chest. So yeah. So there is that. All right, put that aside. And then we want the trailer. So what we're going to do first is we're going to split these two pieces. Oh, hang on. No, we're not. We're going to flip this up. I'm going to flip this up. So that'll free that up. Same on the other side. I always forget to do those two steps. Oh, that's what I didn't point out either. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 Prime Master, or whatever you want to call them. Your headmasters and whatnot, so they can stand up there, but I don't think I ever found anywhere else. So there is that. All right, so we're going to split this in half. We don't want to fully do the legs. We just want to bring these pieces out. And admittedly, yes, the one thing with the trailer is you cannot lower the feet to give a false ramp. All right, so what we want to do is we just want to fold these out. And it doesn't matter about straightening them up too much. We're going to split the legs very gently because we don't want to start popping these out yet. So then we're going to come to the back. And we're going to rotate this around. So this piece is now flat against here. Rotate this around, although we're going to end up having to move that again anyway. So pull this back till it's straight, and then you can fold this down. If you fold that down before you fold that out, it's going to pop off. So then we can rotate there. And then this is going to tab into here, if you can see that. So fold that in, things line up, and that's one leg all done. So, we haven't done the foot, but I'll get back to that in a second. So fold out, straighten up, a little tight on mine, because I don't really use this guy. For Optimus mode, the trailer has been pretty much put away for the most part. Oh, the tapping point's actually down here, not up here, it's down there. So line that up, and then we can push the legs back, or the feet back, and that gives us our legs. You will have this bit of a gap up here, but it is what it is. It's not too big of a problem. Now, the arms. So we're going to split them just a little bit, just so we can get the gun out. And lift the camera up a little bit. Thank you, car driving past. This is going to flip into here. And what we're going to do first is we want to get this lifted up. So lift up a bit, and then we can fold it out. What you want to do is with this piece, you want to lift this up for the moment, fold this in. This is going to go into this gap here. And then what you want to do is there's a little bit of plastic here. You want to just push that past that to lock that sort of in place. Then what you want to do is you want to rotate the arm all the way up. You want to bring it down here. You have this piece of plastic, so make sure that gets free. Fold all that down. You want to lift the smokestack up first, then bring this down, and then that folds back. It's sort of a groove. This tab sort of slots into here. And that's one side all done. So lift up a bit, bring it out. We want to lift this up, fold this in, fold that in, rotate it all the way around, Fold this down, making sure that clears there. Pop that smokestack out, fold that down, fold that in, and we have the Optimus body all ready. Now, of course, you can fiddle with his hips and his knees to make him stand straight and whatnot. So, there we go. All right, now the big moment. We can take Prime. Now, I would suggest if you want to put the Matrix in, you do this beforehand because you're not going to be able to move these. And honestly, the downside is if you want his chest open, I suppose you could lift those open, but you're not even going to get access to the proper chest anyway. So, this will slide in here. You have, where is it? It's sort of this sort of area, sort of clips under here. So just slide through until you get a click. And then the arms just sort of fit into these grooves. And make sure it's pushed all the way through. And there is Optimus Prime in his Optimus mode. And once again, tell me that is not Power of the Primes. Tell me that is not Power Master Optimus Prime. You know, yes, he's shorter. Yes, he's smaller. But it's basically the same engineering of making Optimus Prime, Power Master Optimus Prime, or Jinrai to God Jinrai. If you're a Japanese fan, tell me if I was correct in that naming. But tell me that's not what Power Optimus Prime does. It goes from the smaller to the big, and I don't know what the hell that is in the corner there. I think something's stuck in me. That's something sticking me. Oh well, I'll get that out in a minute. I admit I couldn't wait and I fixed it. But yeah. Now, admittedly, he has a lot of gaps, and my ankles are a little loose. But I think, I can't tell for sure, I think they're a screw, but to get to it, I'm going to have to knock out a pin, and I'm not doing that because I don't normally have this guy in his Optimus mode. So, yeah, it looks like a screw. But yeah, you know, most people won't be able to have access to this figure anymore. But I'm sure a simple matter of putting a bit of nail polish in the joints would actually stiffen his ankles up anyway. Itchy nose. So there he is, Optimus Prime. He does look good. I admit, there is a lot of extra grey. The chest doesn't look perfect, and you can kinda, sorta get it open, but those wheels are sort of... Oh, there you go. You can get it open. Good luck getting that open. All right, I'm just making a dumbass move. You know what? That reminded me of Ultra Magnus's chest. It really did. So, I think it's that way. Maybe. Sorta. Could be. This is where I make an idiot myself and try to get... That's why it's better off putting the Matrix in before you do all that. But you can at least kind of get access to that, sort of. So, there we go. You can arm him up, of course. You have the gun, and it does separate. So you can use this. It's like my mod fans' Roller, except this came out long before Roller. So this is the gun I usually leave with my Orion. And of course, you can just put it in his hand, a bit tight on mine, and he can, go shoot some Decepticons. Not go all psycho like the Bayverse one. So there is that. We can do a size comparison. We'll do that, and then we'll do the articulation because I just remembered it. But honestly, look at that. And I do mean really look at that. He's just a smidgen shorter than MP10. So, yeah. He's actually a pretty decent sized figure when you get him into Prime mode, which I suppose that would have been considered leader class back in the day. So take that for what it's worth. So there we go. As for articulation, Those ankles again. Head can do a full 360. Does not look up. Looks down a little bit. Doesn't go side to side. Arms can do a full 360. You can flip out about that far. You could probably get further, but you're going to have to move that smokestack, which gets it all the way up, but that's more for transformation anyway. We have bicep rotation. We have a single jointed elbow that gets you that far. We have no wrist rotation. I could have swore that had wrist. No, that's a solid piece of plastic in there. So no wrist and no fingers. And that was something I didn't mention on the Orion mode. No fingers. Legs are slightly ratcheted. Gets you that far with a very hollow thigh. Gets you that far back. Gets you that high up. And I won't lie, looking at those hips reminds me very much of MP10's hips. Except they're not as shallow, so there's MP10's just in there. Does remind me a little bit. We do have a little bit of hip rotation. We have single jointed knee that gets you that far. We actually have ankle tilt in this mode. Goes back a little bit, toe goes up a little bit. So there is that. So it does look pretty good, and it does look good. I won't lie, it does look good, even though it was not the reason I bought the figure. This was not it. You know, like I keep saying, I bought it for the Orion mode, which was great and still great. I think it's better than the Cup. Take that for what it's worth too. So there we go. Now let's get it back into truck mode, because we got to go back to truck and we'll go from there. So what we're going to do is we'll take away the gun for the time being, which is really tight. We're going to come back here and we'll just lift these arms up a little bit. You're going to pull down on the, butt flap, and you can push your finger on the cab, and that should pull all the way out, like so. And then we can do the trailer first and then go from there. So what we are going to do is we are going to flip this piece up. We're going to flip that back in. I always get the articulation for this wrong, but flip that up, and we want to get that under here, like so. All right, what we're going to do is rotate this inwards, rotate this around, and we want the arm straight this way. And then we sort of want to rotate it so we're not scraping up against the lights. So that's going to go in there, and then this is going to come down. Oops, I forgot a step. Anyway, so you have this piece here, which we need to get undone. If you try to flip this out, you're going to break it. Get this out first, flip it down. It's just real tight on mine. Then flip that back. Then you can put that in. Now, where is it? I thought there was a tab that was supposed to go into the side of the thigh, but I don't think there is. All right, so that's one done. Same on the other. So lift this up, fold that back, flip this down, make sure it slides in. Rotate it around. We're going to lift that plastic piece up, pop it off in this case. Get back on there. There we go, gotcha. So flip that out, flip this around so we got some clearance, fold that back, fill with the camera a bit, rotate that around and in, rotate it around a bit more. What am I running into? There we go. Fold that in. Now, I'm only going to put part of the gun back because I want to get access to the rest of the gun later without having to untransform all this. But you have these two ports here, one here and one here. If I can get that to focus. There we go. Don't even turn the light on. So you have this port here and this port here. you want to use this port that gives the handle a gap above the ab so it's not rubbing. So put that onto there. Actually show it like that, because as you can see, it's really snug. I don't know if you can even see that. Sorry. It's pretty snug against his pelvis. So hold that in. Make sure the wrist is the right way around. The forearm, bicep, or you can call it. And that's the front almost all done. So we'll leave these last two pieces to the end. And I'm just thinking, for anyone who was wondering about the smokestacks, if you could have them sticking up here, there's the smokestacks right there. I'll come in here while I'm at it and get that piece out. All right, so the legs. What we're going to do is we're going to just pull back. We want it like this. We would then want to flip this piece up. And then we want to rotate all this around like so. And we want to flip that until we've got it sort of a zigzag. So straight out and back in again. And what's going to happen is, of course, this is going to fold over. So what we can do is you want to sort of press the knee up against the shin. And we can do the same on the other side. Unpeg that, flip this around, fold that up, fold this around, and get that articulated how we want it. So we can then tab the legs together, which would be helpful if I had the knee in the right place so it lines up. I'm just trying to think if there was a tab on the foot. I don't think there is. And we want to flip those feet forward. So that way they'll fill in here. I'm literally just checking for tabbing points that aren't the inside. That'll figure out better in a second. So we're going to flip these in. This is going to tab into here. So it looks like these are going to go in the hands, and they're not going to. So flip those across, flip that up, and just then you can fiddle with the feet and get them lined up where you want to. All right, almost done. We're going to flip this back and go in there. You might have to just press it from the other side. Makes it a little bit easier. Because what's going to happen is you have this tab here and this sort of tab again above the port. That just goes in there. And that goes in there. Oh, by the way, I suppose you can, and I might as well do it this way. Pretty sure you can use these ports for your guns as well. So you can use that for your gun port, but that feels really tight, so I wouldn't push it in very far. And that's the trailer. Whoops, sorry. Trailer back in trailer mode. All right, so let's get this guy back into cab mode, and then later on, after the video, I will put it back into Orion mode. So you're going to untab those, straighten them out, and while we're at it, we can rotate these out at the thigh, and these can get tabbed back in again, like so. So straighten them up. You're then going to bring the chest down, and there's what I was talking about. There's the Powermaster Optimus Prime chest. There's the Orion chest. There's the small Optimus Prime chest. But that's neither here nor there. So you have these two tabbing points here. We're going to focus. And they're going to go down onto these two here. So fold it out. Lines up usually pretty well. And then you want to flip the head out. And you want to make sure this hoop is facing out, because otherwise you're not going to be able to put the trailer on. And it doesn't sit flat, so just be aware of that. You can then rotate the Optimus head around and flip that back in, and that just sits in the groove. All right, now the arms. Now, this is what I was pointing out before. So you want to rotate and then swing these back, because they're going to fit in here. But it takes a little fiddly because you have this sort of port here, which is going to go on this tab. So you want to do is sort of fold it sort of up, so you got the whole arm pointing out this way, and you're just going to slide that back, and it's going to push the actual arm closer to the head. and just do it until you can pretty much line up that tab. It's not a real tight tab, so don't expect it to be, but you're going to end up sitting it like that. And then fold this out, fold that out, fold this up, fold it in. You're just going to push back and just get that lined up. That one's a little bit more iffy, but there we go. Gotcha. All right, almost done. So we're going to unpeg these or untab these, which don't really tab in very well. Fold that back, and you want to put this tab, I think it's going to go under here, basically. So put that back and push that in, which is usually a bit tight. And then you're going to rotate this down. Like I said, you've got these tabs here. These are what's going to lock the wheel into place. So fold it down. Make sure that tabs in, and voila. So that keeps that all locked in. So fold that around. I may even fix that up in a second. So we have that tab and port. And just press that in. Give that a push. It's probably, yeah, my arms are slightly moved, I think. That could be part of the reason, but it is. It's neither here nor there, and that is Optimus back in his cab mode. Like that, and then of course we can then bring the trailer back and just stick that on the back there. And he's back to his vehicle mode. So there we go. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. Am I the only one who thinks this is basically a miniature Power Master Optimus Prime? You tell me in the comments if you agree or disagree. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.